It's time for the Coach's Corner Show with Pat Disabato.
Hello and welcome to the Coach's Corner Show. I am your host, Pat Disabato from the Star Newspapers. We are here live at the Coach's Corner Family Sports Bar and Grill, 143rd and 82nd Avenue in Orland Park. Our guest this week, Lincoln Way East coach Rob Zvonar, preseason #1 football team in the Star Newspapers. And before we go to a Beggar's Pizza timeout, folks, I have to congratulate Tommy Jancher and the 11-year-old Darien Hornets baseball team on a great season and on their trip to Cooperstown next year as 12-year-olds. So, all right, folks, we're going to go to a Beggar's Pizza timeout. I can go for some deep dish right now, I'm not going to lie. When we return, we'll have on Lincoln Way's football coach Rob Zvonar. Stay tuned.
From a mouth-watering pizza to a stomach-pleasing Italian beef sandwich, you'll never have to worry about going home hungry from Beggar's Pizza. Our meals are prepared with the finest ingredients available, tastefully seasoned in the culinary traditions of Northern Italy. Whether it's your team's victory bash, a birthday party, or just a nice night out of the kitchen, check out our extensive menu featuring pasta, salads, appetizers, dinners, sandwiches, and of course, pizza. Enjoy a great Beggar's Pizza at home or dine in at one of our many suburban locations.
Having a birthday party, holiday party, or good old-fashioned block party? Then call Fair Share Amusement Company. We rent CD jukeboxes, Golden Tee, Megatouch, and many other coin-operated video games to help make your party more fun. We deliver the machines to your house the day before the event and we'll pick up the day after at no extra charge. Fair Share Amusement Company is one of the leading suppliers of jukeboxes and games to taverns and restaurants in the Southtown area. So let Fair Share help you make more money with the latest equipment available. Call them at 773-445-9955.
If you're looking for a great place to eat with the family or to hang out with the gang, then you have to get to the Coach's Corner. You will love our extensive menu featuring burgers, shrimp, and our famous jumbo chicken wings. So whether you're playing darts, Golden Tee, sitting at the bar, or watching the game on any of our 19 TVs, you'll have a great time. So get to the Coach's Corner Family Sports Bar and Grill at 143rd Street and 82nd Avenue in Orland Park, where there's fun for the entire family.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show. If you're just joining us, I'm your host, Pat Disabato from the Star Newspaper, and our first guest, and only guest for this show, is Lincoln Way East football coach Rob Zvonar. Rob, thanks for coming on board, buddy.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Look at that. Look, get a shot of that nice ring there.
That's old news.
Get my eyes, man. What that sparkly thing. That's the championship.
Ancient history.
Well, let's remind some people of your accomplishments last year. You guys advanced to the semifinals. Before falling to Mount Carmel in a classic game. And 3 straight years of advancing to the semifinals, 8A semifinals, and you're shooting for 4 this year, and having that target of the preseason #1 team from the Star Newspaper. So what's it feel like? 3 years in a row, our preseason #1.
Well, you know what? It probably wouldn't have meant too much except for so far we were able to finish there at the end. So the only reason that we feel good about the preseason one the first 2 years is we were able to finish there. Had we slipped from there by the end of the year, then it wouldn't have meant that much. Because preseason, I think we all kind of know it's based a little bit on how you did the year before, and really probably more accolades to the kids who are freshmen in college. And our kids are smart enough to know that they haven't done too much yet, but we certainly appreciate it and feel honored to have the ranking. And we kind of go back to something I heard Coach Dungy say one time, that any pressure that comes as a result of having success, we consider that a blessing and an honor. So we appreciate it, and we'll do everything we can to live up to it.
I'm sure you guys will do everything in your power, and you have lived up to it these past couple of years. So let's talk about this week. Well, prior to talking this week, let's talk about last Friday night. You guys held a Ron Tomczak scrimmage, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was the first annual tribute to Coach Ron, who passed away suddenly, tragically last spring, and it was just a wonderful night. Mother Nature agreed with us. It was a beautiful night on Friday, and it was a lot of people out there to honor Ron. We had a food tent, raised a bunch of money for a scholarship, had his whole family out there for a little ceremony, including the former Chicago Bear Mike, and it was a lot of fun and great success. And it was the first annual, and we'll be doing it again next year. And from here on out, that game will be dedicated to him. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, and Coach Tomczak, a great man, absolutely. All right, Friday night, hosting the Providence Catholic Celtics, and It is what it is. It's a great rivalry, and I commend you and the Providence staff for getting together and continuing this rivalry. What do you think the key is going to be for the Griffins to pull this thing out?
Well, it's certainly it's an electric game, a lot of electricity in the air. It's a great way to start the season out, and we talk to our kids about that's exactly what you want week one. You want to go out and find out what you're made of, and kind of felt like a couple years ago we were picking on the bully and trying to pick a fight with them, and now it's maybe the other way around. But they're well prepared. They're going to be a great team, and I think it's really going to come down to the team that's more physical and who makes the less mental mistakes. And we talk to our kids about that. Week one, you don't want to get out motion or out formation or this or that. You just want to kind of line up and keep it as simple as you can and let the kids play as fast as they can. And I really think it's going to come down to who out hits who and just be kind of a neighborhood backyard brawl. And that's what we're hoping for.
And now this is the third straight year, right? You guys have defeated them 2 straight, and third time's the charm, right?
Well, we hope so, but we know we're going to have our hands full.
All right, now obviously this season opening tilt, big hit with the players, big hit with the alumni, big hit with the fans, and the media, of course. Do you foresee something, because I know it's a 2-year contract situation, Rob, do you foresee this not being on the schedule? Do you see something happening? Because obviously they have a great schedule with the Catholic League, and you have a great schedule, in the Southwest Suburban. So is this something you think will stick, or
Yeah,
what?
I don't see why it wouldn't. We really haven't addressed it yet. I think once this one gets over and we get into the off season, usually when you have 1 year left, you start kind of talking about it and making those decisions. But we told our kids tonight, you work all year long, you're only guaranteed to play 9 of these games. Why don't you go out and play the best teams you can? So that's been our philosophy since we started in 01, and in our 2 non-conference games each year. We've played some great teams, whether it's been Maine South or Naperville Central or St. Rita or Oaklawn Richards. We've tried to schedule tough non-conference games, and I don't know why we wouldn't continue to do that.
Beautiful. All right, Blake Hammond's your quarterback this year, and last year this time he was your opening night quarterback. You guys pulled out that win, but you made a little shift. Blake went to wide receiver, and now here he is. He's the man. Was he 6'4", 6'5", about 240 pounds? What is the difference from Blake Hammond at this point last year to this point right now?
Well, I think whether he was playing quarterback or not, he was out on the field playing, be it wide receiver, and he's a year older, and as you know, kids change going in your junior and going in your senior year. It's a whole different deal, and both mentally and physically, and he's a horse physically. He would have been just fine had we stuck with him. We just happened to have a luxury to have another kid waiting there that was ready. And had we stuck with Blake by the end of the year or even mid-year, he would have been just fine. Yep. But he made us better out there at the receiver spot. Andrew Ramos stepped in admirably. But the difference in Blake is 180 degrees. He's been the lead, not only playing well at his position, but he's been the leader of our offense as well. And he has committed to Western Michigan to play tight end. But we think maybe before the year is over, D1 schools might rethink that and see if he might be able to sling it instead of. They might try him at quarterback first, knowing they can always move him. So.
Absolutely. All right. Want to go to a break? Go to a timeout? Yeah. Okay, let's go to a RZA group, car group timeout. We return more with Coach Zvonar. Stay tuned.
RZACars.com. Looking for a new Chevy? Shop online. The best Chevy selections and the biggest Chevy savings.
You'll find the car you want at RZACars.com. RZACars.com.
RZACars.com. Looking for a new Ford? Shop online. The name that sells the most Fords in Illinois.
You'll find the car you want at RZACars.com. RZACars.com.
Hi, I'm Pat Disabato from the Star Newspapers, here to talk to you about my friends at Lisa Thomas Salon. With 45 stylists at 2 locations, Lisa Thomas Salons are the perfect solution for the entire family. Their emphasis on current trends means the most up-to-date styles and products are available right in your neighborhood. Lisa Thomas's knowledgeable stylists are committed to making you look and feel great. So visit my friends at Lisa Thomas Salon on 84th Avenue in Tinley Park or 143rd Street in Orland Park. You'll be glad you did.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show. If you're just joining us, our guest this week, Lincoln Way East football coach Rob Zvonar, number 1, Lincoln Way East Griffins, ranked by the Star newspaper. All right, Danny Sebula, he's back, needs 463 yards to become the all-time leading rusher in the program's history. He's quite a talent, obviously. If you get him, Hammond progresses and develops the way he's capable of. Man, what about this offense?
Yeah, we feel pretty good about our skilled players on offense, and Dan hit it right on the head. He'll be a 3-year starter, and he kind of came upon the scene when he was a sophomore. We had planned on rotating him and Patrick Geary at the wing spot, but Pat went down with an injury, so Danny took over, and I think he came on the scene at a good time, scored a touchdown against Maine South in the state championship game, and you knew he was going to be a great player. And just real quickly on Danny, he's not just a great player, but just one of the greatest kids you would want to be around. Just visited Princeton and the Ivies over the summer, and he is the hardest worker we've ever had at East, and we've had a lot of really hard workers. But Danny, he carries that tag around with him and has lived up to that every step of the way. So I wouldn't be surprised if those 400-some yards go down pretty fast.
I was going to say, they're going to be gone by the third game at the very latest. All right, now they can shift to the defensive side. Dan Giordano committed to Cincinnati, and I want to let the viewers know he has some Blue Island roots. That's a key. That's where he gets that toughness, and he's Italian. He's a force at end. He's a big boy, mean streak. But how do you replace a kid like, you had DJ Perkle, John Olafson, and Brendan Mulheron? How do you replace guys like that?
Yeah, no, that's a very difficult task. Just got an update on DJ. He's too deep up in Northern as a true freshman. He's going to suit up and get some reps at Soldiers Field against Iowa. So happy for DJ, and John Olafson's getting ready to play football for Donnie Dobes, St. Rita graduate up at Princeton. So Brendan Mulheron going to Notre Dame. So you're right, the 3 kids you mentioned. I mean, how do you do that? But the pain is a little less when you can bring in a Dan Giordano and a Tom Liljan and some of the kids that we've got coming through. So we're Danny. This is probably not talk that moms want to hear, but college recruiters, when they came in, I was able to talk to them about Dan's toughness, like you alluded to, and we have 2,000 boys in our high school, and if he might be the toughest out of all 2,000. So if 2 of them kept going in, he might step out 1,000 times.
Yeah. His dad was a bad man.
But at the same time, conducts himself as a gentleman where he needs to, and it's tough in our world. We want him to be axe murderer, so to speak, on the field and gentleman off, and he knows how to flip the switch on and off, which is a great attribute to have.
Absolutely. Now you lose the amount of talent you guys have lost, throughout the years here, Rob, and the senior class I think was 44-1 through their prep careers, but you don't suffer in the standings. It seems like you maintain a high level of performance. How do you do that?
Well, that's really a tribute to our youth football programs. Until now, it's been the Frankfort Square Wildcats. Obviously, they're going to be headed to the North High School now, but Frankfort Falcons, Mokina Burros, and then our lower level coaches. I mean, hopefully it's not just a varsity team, but it's a whole program. And hopefully we're taking a kid when they come in as a freshman and they're getting developed each year, whether it's in the weight room or on the football field. And it's just a credit to our fresh-off coaches and, like I said, our youth coaches that hopefully we can keep filling in those spots regardless of who graduates.
Yeah. Now, one of those incoming freshmen you have, a kid by the name of Jonathan Siebert, his father, one of my best friends. That kid gives you any problems, okay? You just make sure you contact me, and we'll straighten him out.
And I know him, and I now know what I can motivate him.
That's for sure. All right, Lincoln Way North, opening it up. Will that have any impact on the program, you think, or what?
Yeah, it will in terms of we've already seen our numbers are a little bit different on the fresh soft, and they're not bad by any means, but George Chart's going to do a great job from Lincoln Way North, coming over from Lockport. And they're running their fresh soft levels out of East this year, and they've got nice numbers for a new school, and so do we. We've been through the split. Unfortunately, this time we're kind of on the other side of it. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to have a little impact in terms of some of our numbers, and some of the kids we've mentioned, Giordano, DJ Perkle, they would have been North kids. So there's no doubt about it that it's going to have a little bit of an impact. But we certainly have enough faith in the communities of Mokina and Frankfort and the Mokina Burros, Frankfort Falcons, that I really believe we're going to continue to get the job done as well.
Yeah, they'll be holding no tag days for you guys in terms of talent, right?
Well, I hope not, and we'll. But at the same time, if there is a year or two where we have a little drop off, ain't nobody going to take it easy.
No, that's for sure. That's for sure. Now you look back, Monday morning quarterback, armchair quarterback. You look back at that Mount Carmel loss last year. Do you see things that, I wish I would have done this differently, or something, or what?
Yeah, you know what? I think every coach probably can tell you, even after their career is over, that they can look back and there's 3 or 4, maybe 5 of those games that stay with you. And for us, it's Hinsdale Central in 02, and then probably Mount Carmel in 06. It's been digging at us all off season, and the self-reflection, and we're harder on ourselves, I think, than other people are. Even and yeah, we could have done some things different. You look at the end of the game, we opened it up a little bit and had some success. But we worked hard on the game plan. We stuck with it as long as we could have, and hindsight's 20/20. But yeah, we feel like we maybe. Not taking nothing away from Mount Carmel, but maybe we kind of wasted an opportunity to get back to state championship.
Okay, what I have to mention here now, I'm all for anybody in their respective career looking to improve themselves, okay? Making a little bit more cash, a little bit higher prestige in their position. Now, with that said, your offensive coordinator, Joe Palisade, a friend of mine, obviously a friend and colleague of yours. It's one thing to move up the Lincoln Way East ladder, but for him to accept the athletic director position at Lincoln Way Central, the arch rival. I mean, did you ever envision this guy being a turncoat like that, or what?
We haven't called him Fredo to his face yet, but if we said he slept with the fishes, no, I'm just kidding. No, we're just it was when him and I started together 14 years ago. The only other thing he said, someday if this opportunity to this, the only reason I'd ever go, and I will say, being the company man that he was, no, he had to take the opportunity where it came up in the district, and he just such a great football coach. It was a shame to lose him, but I'm proud of him for taking probably the road less traveled, challenging himself and accepting that job, and we're crossing our fingers that maybe he gets back a few miles east down the road, but until then, our loss is unfortunately going to be Central's game.
Yeah, he's going to do a great job over there.
Absolutely.
And Joe, congratulations on it. Good luck with that situation. And if I ever need to call you, I expect you to give me a couple of scoops as Lewis alums, all right? All right, well, Rob, I appreciate your time on this, buddy. Again, hey, you're a class act. You guys are always accessible to the media. You're always there for us. And, I know you guys are going to have a great season. And between you and I being a public school product, you take care of those Celtics on Friday night, okay?
Well, I appreciate that, and we'll do everything we can to get that done.
All right, Rob. Thanks a lot.
Right, thanks, sir.
All right, we're going to go to a Coach's Corner timeout. We return. We'll have a little something going on here with our top 10s and some other fun stuff, so stay tuned.
If you're looking for a great place to eat with the family or to hang out with the gang, then you have to get to the Coach's Corner. You will love our extensive menu featuring burgers, shrimp, and our famous jumbo chicken wings. So whether you're playing darts, golden tea, sitting at the bar, or watching the game on any of our 19 TVs, you'll have a great time. So get to the Coach's Corner Family Sports Bar and Grill at 143rd Street and 82nd Avenue in Orland Park, where there's fun for the entire family.
From a mouth-watering pizza to a stomach-pleasing Italian beef sandwich, you'll never have to worry about going home hungry from Beggar's Pizza. Our meals are prepared with the finest ingredients available, tastefully seasoned in the culinary traditions of Northern Italy. Whether it's your team's victory bash, a birthday party, or just a nice night out of the kitchen, check out our extensive menu featuring pasta, salads, appetizers, dinners, sandwiches, and of course, pizza. Enjoy a great Beggar's Pizza at home or dine in at one of our many suburban locations.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show. Again, I'd like to thank Lincoln Way East coach Rob Zvonar for joining us. 2005 state champions, Class 8A semifinals last year, and the Stars preseason #1. Speaking of top 10 polls, we're going to unveil ours right now, and we'll begin things with the number 10 team, the Thornton Wildcats, coached by Greg Moselle. Got some talent, as usual, on the line, and at the skill positions, Greg Fuller, running back, Darren Jones at quarterback. This Fuller kid, though, at running back is the real deal. Brendan Gilbert's at wide receiver, and David Lewisby leads a massive offensive line. On defense, Leandro Payne and Chris Rice will lead the way. Number 9, Providence Catholic. This Drew Abernathy running back, he's supposed to be the real deal. We're going to find that out this season. Kevin Maloney's top kid back on the offensive line. Patty O'Connell, good Italian kid. He'll lead the defensive line, and Dave Toger will also join him on the defensive line. Like that one, huh, Georgie? Good Italian kid. Number 8, the Lockport Porters. We'll see if Brett Coy's team could get back into the upper echelon of the top 5 when all is said and done. Scott Carroll, who was the QB for 3 or 4 games last season, he takes over on a full-time basis this year. Curtis Cozy, top wide receiver. Greg Gonsolin will be the man in the backfield. Chris Wilson will anchor the offensive line. And Tom Malone also on that offensive line. That will be a strength for the Porters in 2007. Number 7, Brother Rice Crusaders. Steve Nye will rely heavily on Jeremy Rhodes as his wingback and safety, and he'll do some special teams play as well. Doug Schumacher will be a wide receiver and cornerback. At 6'2", he will provide some matchup problems with opposing cornerbacks. Neil Sullivan is at safety. Those 3 kids, Rhodes, Schumacher, and Sullivan, accounted for 22 interceptions last year, so it's a top-notch secondary, probably the best in the area. Offensive line, Jack Ruddy, Kevin Callahan, David Keene, and Matt Lydon all return. Tom Gibson will take over at QB for the Crusaders. Number 6, Lincoln Way Central. Rob Gleamy will rely heavily on his son, Robbie Gleamy, at quarterback, and it's been talked about that the Knights will feature a spread attack and let Mr. Little Gleamy run the show with the option a little bit. See what happens there. Jake Whiteclaw, the best kicker in the state, he returns. Lee Mattingly, Matt McMahon, Kyle Cundery, Matt Lucas, they are all returning offensive linemen, so the Knights will be tough. Number 5, Homeland Flossmoor, our good buddy Ken Smith, he takes over the helm from Crete-Monee, now the field general for the Vikings. Mark Franklin will be at running back, he returns. Aaron Phillips will be at fullback. 2 wide receivers, Sup Osani and Russell Ellington, top notch. Stephen Sewell will lead the defense at linebacker. Number 4, Richards. Tommy Thomas taking over at quarterback. Tommy Thomas was the quarterback on the freshman and sophomore teams, did not quarterback last year, so now he returns as a senior. Also the best safety in the area, 10 interceptions last year, being recruited by a bevy of Big Ten teams. Kevin Lee, Joe Sheehan, Anthony Palermo, Sean Prattle all return on the offensive line. Matt Anzalotti, Sean Newsom will anchor the defensive line, and Matt Leppard, Dante Kelly, and Dave Hediger all return as linebackers. Bulldogs will be tough. We'll talk about them a little bit more in the high and tight segment. Number 3, Oak Forest. Bengals return just about all their defense from a team that advanced all the way to the Class 6A semifinals. Mike Johns headed to Miami of Ohio. He is the key on that defensive line. Jimmy Bardusk returns, and the linebacking crew of Chad Sprayberry, John Barry, and Corey Bryant doesn't get much better than that, folks. They are top-notch. Number 2, Lamont. Graham Posick anchors the offensive line. He is headed to Illinois. Brett Nagel, quarterback. He's a stud. He returns, about 6'3", 210 pounds. Robbie Ernest will be the running back. Peter Corsi will be at wide receiver. And Gordy Kickles and Willie Hayes return at linebacker. And the number 1 team, really no surprise here, Lincoln Way East Griffins. And we talked about what they have returning with Blake Hammond at QB and Danny Sebula in the backfield. So the Griffins, they're the team to knock off. But one thing about this top 10, I would argue that just about any team in this top 10 could defeat anybody. This is as diversified and as talented as a top 10 poll as we've had in some time. All right, we're going to go to a Lisa Thomas Line timeout. When we return, high and tight, stay tuned.
Are you looking for just the right hairstyle? Then come to Lisa Thomas Salon. We've been providing the finest in hair, body, nail, and skincare for over 15 years. Our emphasis on current trends and continuing education means the most up-to-date styles and products are available right in your neighborhood. Our knowledgeable stylists are committed to making you look and feel great. Visit Lisa Thomas Salon today on 84th Avenue in Tinley Park or 143rd Street in Orland Park. You'll be glad you did.
Are you buying or selling in the south suburbs? Then make your next move with Mike Michalowski of RE/MAX 10. With many years of experience, Mike can be your realtor for life. Check out his website to search from over 70,000 homes. There are many pictures, community profiles, and school district information. Make sure you don't miss the virtual tours. So no matter if you're buying or selling, call Mike Michalowski, a career realtor from RE/MAX 10, your realtor for life.
RZACars.com. Looking for a new Chevy? Shop online. The best Chevy selections and the biggest Chevy savings.
You'll find a car you want at RZACars.com. RZACars.com.
RZACars.com. Looking for a new Ford? Shop online. The name that sells the most Fords in Illinois.
You'll find a car you want at RZACars.com. RZACars.com.
For the best high school and local sports coverage in the Southland, turn to the Star newspapers. With a 106-year tradition, their award-winning team of writers and columnists cover what you care about. Whether it's the highly competitive prep football scene or the intensity of travel softball, the Star has all the bases covered.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show. Okay, high and tight segment. You know, Richards Bulldogs, they've been qualified for the postseason 22 consecutive years. Head coach Gary Cohonen has 304 career victories, 296 if you're counting in Illinois. However, if you look at various top 10 polls and top 20 polls by the daily newspapers, a couple of them slighted Richards, not in their preseason polls, which is an absolute travesty. The Bulldogs are loaded. They have 3 kids on the line who did not play since their freshman year, who have returned this year, and maybe these so-called experts didn't do their homework. These 3 kids are like 6'3", 290, 6'1", 320, you know, huge, huge kids. And of course, they return a bevy of talent. So I don't understand how the Bulldogs are being slighted. And some of those experts better get off their rear ends during the summer when they're eating, you know, using that comp time and changing their beats from, you know, high school to whatever beat. Gotta get the Bulldogs in the top polls, man. Got to. All right. Again, thanks to Coach Rob Zvonar for joining us. Opening night, a lot of good games. Check one out. We will be here next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Have a good week.
The Coach's Corner Show is brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. We lay it on thick. The Coach's Corner Family Sports Bar and Grill, where there's fun for the entire family. Fair Share Amusement, featuring CD jukeboxes, Golden Tee, Mega Touch, and more. Lisa Thomas Salon. Visit us at Lisa Thomas Salon. You'll be glad you did. RZA Cars. You'll find the car you want at RZACars.com.